So transferring data means transferring it from one owner to the other owner. In Salesforce, every record that we have in any object, every object has a field called owner. You must have noticed that. Accounts have owners, opportunities have owners, and contacts have the owners. So every record has an owner, right? Now let's say one person is leaving the company or is moving on to some other project, and all the data under that person needs to be transferred to the other person, right? So in that case, what will you do? If there are 1000 records for that person, let's say I am handling 1000 accounts or 1000 contacts, and then I decide to leave the company. There's another person who comes into the company. Now what needs to be done here? All the records need to be transferred from me to that person, right? So if we start changing the owner one by one, going to the individual record, it will take too much of time. So for that reason, we will do mass transfer of records. So there can be a lot of reasons for doing this transfer. People leaving the company, shift of the project, something like that. A common thing that happens in a few cases is sometimes the administrators are not allowed to make others as the owners of the records, right? So when you import the data, sometimes you make yourself as the owner. Let's say you are the administrator, right? You imported the data and you imported the entire data, making yourself as the owner of all the data. Let's say 1000 records you have imported, and you have imported making yourself as the owner of all the records. Now after importing the data, you are deciding on certain criteria and then assigning those records to people. Based on some criteria, you assign some records to some team member based on some other criteria, right? So that can also be one scenario where we will do the mass transfer, right? So let's see how this mass transfer thing works. It's very simple. Yes, here we are. So you just have to go to setup for the mass transfer of records. You just need to go to setup, then go to data management, and then go to mass transfer of records, right? Here you just have to select what data you want to transfer. You want to transfer accounts, contacts, or whatever. Select what data you want to transfer from user and to user. Whose data and to whom, right? So if you say from user, we select. Right now here I just have one user, so I'm not able to select two different users. But you in a normal scenario, when you have multiple users, you can select a from user and a to user. Put some criteria if you have, right? Like if you just want to transfer the data from a particular industry or a particular country, put that filter here. Click on find. So this will show you all the results which meet the criteria which you have defined here. I have not defined any criteria, but if you define any criteria, all the records will be displayed. Now you have the option of selecting the ones that you want to transfer. If you don't want to transfer all of them, that's fine. You can select the ones that you want to transfer, and those will be transferred. So it's a very simple step. So there is nothing which needs to be done. Just go to setup, data management, mass transfer records. Select what data you want to transfer from user to user. Put any criteria in case you have. Click on find. You will have all the results. You can select the records that you want to transfer and then just click on transfer. That's it. Alright. Okay. And this is an option which is available with our data management menu itself. It is not available in your data loader. So this option is not there in data loader. Mass transfer can happen only through this menu. Alright. Fine. So the next thing that we will talk about is mass delete of records. What is this mass delete of record? Mass delete is again simple thing. If you want to delete multiple records by mistake, if you have done an import, or if you have some duplicate records, if you find that the records are too old and you just want to delete them from the system, you are kind of running short of space on the Salesforce, on your Salesforce org, and you plan to archive some data. So all these can be reasons of deleting the data, right? But whenever we are talking about delete, there is delete is the easiest thing. That is something that we all understand, right? So deleting anything will be the easiest thing. So it's not about how do we delete it. That anyhow we are going to see how to delete the data in bulk. But there are a few things which we need to understand before we go and do the mass delete. See, mass delete can be a risky thing as well. Sometimes what happens is you delete some data, and after deleting the data you realize that you actually needed that data, okay, and you did not need to delete it. So sometimes it may happen. I have come across situations where I have deleted some data, and then I realized that that data was required by some other team to do some sort of analysis on the duplicate records. You find duplicate data and you delete it, fine, and then you realize that okay, fine, the team wanted it, to do some analysis on what all duplicate records, how many duplicate records, some analysis. So that is the thing, right? So for that reason, there are two things which we always need to keep in mind. One, we should not permanently delete the data. There is Salesforce provides you an option of deleting the data permanently or moving the data to recycle bin. Alright. So first thing we should keep in mind is we should always move the data to recycle bin. In Salesforce we have a recycle bin, right? Whatever you delete in Salesforce by default goes to recycle bin. And it's not only about the data, it is about your objects, fields. In case you have created your objects and fields, and in case you're required to delete any of those, you might have seen once you delete a field, that field does not completely get deleted. You again have to go and erase that field. Fine. So Salesforce actually realizes this thing that sometimes people do delete things by mistake. For data also the same concept is there. If you delete something, it does not permanently get deleted. It goes into your recycle bin, right? So we have a recycle bin here. On Salesforce, if you go to the home page, on home page you will see the recycle bin. Here it is. So here is the recycle bin. Whatever data you delete comes to the recycle bin. Okay. If you are not permanently deleting, so there is an option of permanent delete also. I'll show you that thing also as well. So that is the thing. So that's the first thing that we need to keep in mind, that we should not delete anything permanently. Okay. Second thing that we need to understand, or we need to keep in mind for before deleting, that it's required to take a backup of the data before you delete it. So it's always recommended that you do an export, have an archive outside the Salesforce, and then delete the data within Salesforce, so that if you require it sometime at a later point of time, you can again import it, or you can use that data, right? So it's always recommended before you perform any delete operation, do an export operation, right? So these are a few things that needs to be kept in mind. All right, so now let's do the delete thing. So sometimes I've seen people asking, the interviewers are asking this kind of a question, that let's say you show some experience and they put you a question that have you ever performed a delete operation, and you say yes, a common thing, right? And then they say, okay, so did you do anything before deleting that data? And you say, no, I did not do anything. So they start getting that feeling that you have actually not worked on it. And if you say that no, I archived the data and all that stuff, they get that feeling that you have actually worked on delete. So for that aspect also it's important. Alright, so mass delete of records, you just have to go to setup, same navigation, setup, data management, mass delete of records. What data you want to delete? You want to delete accounts, that's fine. Same criteria here, you have to, if you just want to put some criteria, it's fine, otherwise just click on search. It will show you all the results and you select the ones that you want to delete. Right? And then just click on delete. So mass delete. Let me go ahead and delete a few of them. Let's say I delete these 3 accounts. Those 3 got deleted. Now if you want, you can find them on the recycle bin. See, this is what I deleted just now, this here on recycle bin. If you have deleted anything by mistake, that will go into recycle bin and you can go and undelete it any point of time. Right? Any point of time as in for 15 days. So this data will be in the recycle bin for 15 days. If you do not undelete it or you do not retrieve the data in 15 days, it will be deleted. Alright. See, this is what Salesforce also recommends on mass delete page. Recommendation prior to mass deleting. We strongly recommend you run a report to archive your data before you continue. It is strongly advised to request and receive a weekly export of your data before running mass delete. The weekly export service is included with it. Okay, fine. So basically the same thing. Export the data, run a report, but have a copy of the data and then only delete it. No matter how useless the data is, it's always good to keep the data, right? Alright, so that is about the delete data or the delete records. Now mass delete of records. Now for the delete option, we have delete option available in data loader as well. But for data loader, if you have to delete something, you need to have the IDs of those records. Data loader will not show you a list like this. So for mass delete, this is a better option because here you get to see a list, right? If you want to do a delete using data loader, then what you have to do, you have to provide a file which contains IDs of the records. Okay. For example, let me first log in into this. Alright, here it is. Let's say I first of all do an export to get some records. All right. So I export the ID and name of some accounts, right? And I click on finish. "26 success records." Okay. So these are the records which I have got. So every record has an ID. If you see, name and other fields are there, but Salesforce generates a unique ID for every record. This is that unique ID. All right. Now, if you have to, update, or if you have to delete the data using data loader, then you have to use this ID. So you want to delete some records. Let's say you want to delete these 3-4 records using data loader. Then what you have to do, you have to supply the IDs to the data loader and say that delete these records. So deleting the data in data loader will require you to have an understanding of the ID. So ID is nothing, it's a field. Okay, it's an auto-generated field. Salesforce automatically assigns an ID to every record which is created. All right. So you just have to supply the ID for deleting those records. So I have this file here on my system. Now let me pick that file from there, from the desktop. It's saved on my desktop. So I told you that export from data loader will give you instant download, right? So we have got an instant download of the file, which is this one, I guess. Give me a moment, let me open the file. Okay, I think I missed on where did I do the export. I'll do it again. Yes, I want to replace the existing file. This should be the ID, this should be the name. Now let me go and put it in some other location. So I'll do the export, I'll save it in this folder. ID, name, these are the fields that I need. Finish. So now once this part is done, 26 records have been extracted. Click on OK. Now go and open that file wherever you saved the file. So I saved the file on desktop, log files. Here it is. Yep. So this is the file that I extracted just now. It has the IDs and the record names, right? So now using data loader, if you want to delete, you have to supply these IDs to delete the records. So let's say I want to delete these 4-5 accounts. So I just have to copy this, create a new CSV file, save it. Delete okay, that's CSV. Save it in CSV format. Okay, give it whatever name you want, save it, and then so this is a file which just has the record IDs. Now you have to go back to your data loader, and then in data loader you will say delete. When you say delete, it will ask what do you want to delete. Account. It will also ask you to browse the file. Which file? The one which has the IDs of the records that you want to delete. Open them. Open the file, go to next. This will contain 5 records. Okay. Okay. Map the fields. Yeah, map it with the ID field. That's fine. Okay. Finish. Okay. So it says that the space on your recycle bin is limited. So just make sure that you want to delete. Yeah. So there were 4 successful deletes and 1 had error. So now you can go and see what error it had. Just click on view errors. Okay, the error it has is it has related records. Bank of America could not be completed because it is associated with a case. So see, it becomes so easier for you if you are using your data loader. But the point is that you have to supply the IDs. You have to get the IDs of the records which you want to delete, and then you have to delete it. Okay. And whereas on that mass delete option on the menu, you just had the option of deleting it, selecting and deleting. So you did not have to supply the ID and all that stuff. All right. So clear on this? Questions? How we are doing this mass delete for the data loader? If anyone has a question, please let me know. All right. So we are clear on that part. Mass update. Okay, if you have to update some field, okay, in bulk, then what will you do? Mass update is an option which is available only with our data loader. Okay, so for mass update, if you want to update a few records and a few fields on those records, then first thing that we have to supply to Salesforce is which record we want to update, right? So for providing that information, what field information we have to give, we have to provide the information of the ID field, right? Which which record we want to update, that will be identified based on the record ID. ID is the unique identifier, right? So we have to supply the IDs in the file for update. So for update, there is a simple thing that you have to do. I already have this file, so I'll go and open this. Let's say for these, I want to update the industry for all these records, right? I want to update industry for all of them to technology. Alright. So what is required? This ID is required, and what data you want to update. Even if you do not supply this field, no, it does not matter, because this identifier is fine. Okay. So have the file have the ID in that file, which will be used as the identifier for the record for Salesforce to understand which records need to be updated and what needs to be updated. That's it. Now just go to this thing, click on save as, and I will save it as update.csv. All right. Now go to the data loader and then click on close and click on update. So update what accounts? Browse the file I already have here. Pick the file from here. Go to next. Again, same thing. Do the mapping of the fields. Account ID needs to be mapped with this. So this account ID will act as the key, and industry is what you want to update. That's fine. Name, even if you do not map, it's fine. All right. So asking for location where you want to save the success and error logs, like in insert, same way. Finish. Successful updates and 4 errors. Out of 26, 22 were updated, 4 had errors. So let's go and see what are the errors. So successful updates. See, all these records got updated to technology. Alright. Which 4 records had error? These 4 had errors because these 4 records we just deleted. Entity is deleted. So these do not exist. So could not find the record IDs. Fine. So you see how simple it is to update the data in bulk and delete the data in bulk. But you have to understand this record ID concept very well, because record ID is not just it's something which is not just going to be used here in your import export. For everything, this is an identifier, right? So for every operation that you do, you will need to use the record ID. Later in our training, when we will talk about the programming side, and we will design our own interfaces and all, there also we'll need to supply the record ID from our side, so that it can be Salesforce can understand which record you are referring to, which record is in context, right? Because name we have already seen that name can be duplicate, right? So if you see here, Salesforce does not have a problem if you enter a duplicate name. If you see Accenture, so it allows duplicate name, but record ID is going to be unique. All right, so that is the thing. Okay, just give me a moment. Okay. So Shobit says having problem to log in into data loader. So Shobit, are you entering the security token? You have to supply the security token, then only you can log in.
Okay. Can you please tell me the process again to
Yes, yesterday's video is on the YouTube. You just go through yesterday's video, you will find that. Fine. So security token you can get from your setup, my setting, and you can get that thing. But you refer, I think yesterday you were not there, right? Please refer to yesterday's video. I think there are a few more other important things in that. Alright. Now we have understood about import, export, delete, transfer, and update. So now we can do everything, whatever the requirement is. We have to delete the data, we have to update the data, we have to import or export the data, transfer the data, everything can be done. Now there is one small thing which we would need to discuss, which is the storage usage. So when we are doing so many data related activities, there is another thing which is important which we need to understand here, which is storage usage. What is that storage usage concept? It's a very simple thing. We are understanding how much storage capacity you have got from Salesforce. Now that depends on what edition you have purchased and all. So how much storage capacity you got, and out of that how much you have utilized, how much is remaining. So this is while you're performing these data related operations, this is again one thing that you need to keep in mind, that how much data storage is available, and how do you utilize that. See, storage is divided. The storage that Salesforce provides you is divided into two categories: data storage and file storage. Right. So Salesforce basically provides you storage in two categories. One, they provide you space to store data. They provide you space to store files. Right. So data storage, we have seen all these objects when we create and we put records into that goes into data storage. Now what is that file storage? File storage is for any attachment, PDFs, documents, images, JPEG files. So file storage is for all these files. Fine. Sometimes you might want to upload some of your documents on the cloud so that it can be used from anywhere. Salesforce provides you some space for that as well, right? Or if you want to send an attachment with an email template, if you have an email template, or if you just want to send an email with that, you want to send an attachment which is in PDF format, so those things need to be uploaded, right? Or if you want to use a logo or some image on some of your page, that again needs to be uploaded as a document. So you have data storage and file storage. Now how much data storage you have and how much file storage you have, that depends on your edition. Here is the simple logic for it. So data storage for contact manager till unlimited edition is 1 GB per org. So for any of these org, data storage is 1 GB, okay, or to a 20 MB per user. For performance and unlimited, it's 120 MB per user, right? So either they will give you a 1 GB of data storage or they will give you a 20 MB of data storage, right? Now, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so we are talking about this data storage and file storage. So data storage, how much data storage you get, that depends on your edition. So either you get 1 GB or you get a 20 MB per user data storage, whichever is larger. Alright. For example, you have enterprise edition and you have 50 users. So either you get 50 into 20, which is 1000 MB, or 1 GB. So 1 GB is bigger, you will get 1 GB. If you have 70 users, then it becomes more than 1 GB. Then you will get that data storage, right? So minimum data storage for any org that you will get is 1 GB. Alright. Even if you have one user, you will not get 20 MB, you will get 1 GB of data storage. So this is how the Salesforce works. They provide you 1 GB for data storage. Same concept is applicable for file storage. Either you get 11 GB. So 11 GB is given to you for file storage, and then the 612 MB per user, alright, is given. So whichever is greater. So if you have more number of users and that if multiplying number of users into 6 by 612 exceeds 11 GB, then you will get that bigger data storage space for file. Got that thing? So that is a simple calculation. Now this is the basic the basic storage capacity which is provided by Salesforce. If you want, you can upgrade the data storage. You can ask them for additional data storage or the file storage, depending on your requirement. For that, they will charge you a little extra. So that is it. Now let's see, where do we go for this data storage concept. You just have to go to setup. So in case you want to check how much data storage you have utilized and how much of that is available still, you just have to go to setup. Under data management, we have the option of storage usage. Just click on storage usage. This will show you details of your storage. So for developer edition, they just give you 5 MB of data storage and 20 MB of file storage, because developer edition is a free edition, right? So in any other paid edition, the minimum data storage you will get is 1 GB and minimum file storage you will get is 11 GB. Now, out of this data that you have, what percent you have used, how many records of which object, every detail you will get here. Which object is consuming most of your data storage, how much space, what percentage. File storage, again the same concept, which user is using the maximum data storage, which users are using maximum file storage. All the details you will get here. Are you able to hear me now? Hello? Is that working?
Yes.
Yeah?
Now it's better. Yeah.
Alright. So I was just talking about this page where we have the data storage and the file storage details. So what percentage has been used and which object has how many records, all the details you will get here. So data storage usage is something that you can just refer to. See, there is nothing you can do here. There is no action for you to do. This is just a snapshot of the storage usage. So how much data you have used, who is consuming maximum data storage space, who is consuming maximum of the file storage. So those things you can see and understand, and then based on that you can control your database. That okay, if you feel that there are too many records and opportunities and you want to archive a few of them, you can do that. Clear on this? Please let me know if we have any questions.